Careful, buddy.
A bit of early history looming here at the U.S. Poker Open in 2026. Brock Wilson won event number 1, making the call here against Rossitto.
So the ace-5 has a solid advantage of 14%, as it didn't take long for the shorty
Suits are live.
to work his way into the middle.
Up, right? Because then we're kind of like tied-ish.
It was just
big
7
spot.
bigs.
Yeah. I'm feeling nervous. Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
450 in the middle. And the ace-5 looking pretty on this board.
Flop.
And now it's looking quite ugly.
Uh-oh.
10 on the turn, connecting with Wilson.
When you bust, okay, so we're on the same page.
I don't like you.
Max pressure on the shoulders of Rossitto to find this double. Is there an ace? Yes, there is!
How have you done that to me all this tournament?
I've been doing this to everybody this whole tournament.
Wow.
Where did that card come from?
The same place the turn came from, my friend.
I'm shocked.
Oh,
yeah.
So did we pay? Is that?
Love that.
We got
a
budget
sound,
for the
wow.
Eagle sound?
I have a soundboard in here now,
Okay.
Ali, so we'll be hearing quite a few noises.
Well, see, that's the thing. The only noise right now to focus on is the 390 declaration from Rossitto, the fact that Soverel with King 10
Okay, I can tell if it looks like an ace.
No.
is going to be in here. Having asked for all of it and gotten it. And Rossitto took ace-5 against king 10. Will the ace-9 fare as well?
Oh,
it sure doesn't look that way as Soverel slam dunks this flop. The nuts, backdoor hearts and boats.
Pretty good.
That's what
one,
Rossitto needs.
Look,
None of the above, and it's a wrap.
Again.
As he draws dead, so short-lived was the optimism for Rossitto, as well as the denial of the pay jump, as he'll collect fifth place money, 49.5 going home with Michael. 3 events.
And also
This is
keep
the
in
fourth,
mind
of
that
course.
Brock Wilson, he won the first PGT Major Series already in 2026. He took home the PokerGO Cup.
Oh.
Could he go back-to-back?
I mean, to win a couple of majors in a row, that Tiger-esque behavior.
Right.
You know, without rolling your car on its side.
He did the Phil
You know, poker comes with a lot of ups and downs and crashes.
I will say, and a lot of bad drivers, in my experience.
Yeah. Come talk to one of us.
Disproportionate amount of time spent in the seat on the felt and not enough time in that car seat. And
right.
some questionable choices can get
No,
made.
I think
in
that's
my
what
recollection.
He wasn't doing it.
Meanwhile, Soverel asking questions of Ausmus once more. This time, though, Jeremy has ace-jack. Let's see if he feels like taking it up a peg further. He does not. 690 in an inflated one. Soverel was hoping to take it down right there in the blind versus blind battle, and he was hoping for something prettier than queen 10 deuce all hearts. To be fair, Ausmus was as well. He does have a gutter. You know, we saw him smack a gutter on the turn in a monotone flop situation already against Foxen.
I would imagine he's going to have an opportunity to get a look at the turn right here, right now. It does go check, check.
How many did this have at the start? 33?
Black 6 is deeply divorced from this texture.
Not a huge drop-off, but a lot more familiar faces than I would have envisioned when I saw the 5K. Was a lot more newer people. But I
couldn't believe it, actually.
Yeah, 5K is a good price point, I guess. I mean, 10K turbo, when everyone fires off like it's nothing, I guess can be
for sure
a little intimidating. But if you come in here, it's really like it's not that. It's like seems more intimidating than it is.
And it goes check, check, allowing Soverel to connect with this 9.
There were going to be a ton of river cards where Soverel absolutely would have had to bet However, this one in particular, if it goes check from Ausmus, I can't imagine we're betting. We finally made a hand.
Oh, look at this, though. Ausmus doesn't feel like he's got any showdown value here, and he'll speak first. Heartless.
This is really well done by Ausmus. He's able to force out a hand just like this. But can Soverel see through it? What are we beating? It's all of these heartless holdings like ace check off. What a call.
Show it.
Good hand. One card he's got.
Nice.
Well, giddy up. The brain qualifier.
Under 10 bigs. And, yeah. Who wants some?
Oh, Soverel might.
Ace 4 off.
335.
He is second in chips, can well afford to take matters into his
I
own
kind of just hit
hands.
skirt 'cause I'm the shortest.
You know, I have dog shit. I just kind of want to try to bluff you.
That's fair.
Thick at Jeremy.
It's better trying to get me all in pre than play me post, so.
No, you're right. You're right.
There it is.
I think this is a little bit more hand than one would have anticipated
This
when
is
the
your best
declaration
shot.
of, quote, dog shit
King 10
was made.
every time. Someone's got it.
So Brock Wilson at risk. Slight dog of 7% in a 730K pot as he seeks to keep his seat with the ace high. The king 10, rather.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty clean for the ace 4.
Never
Yeah.
count Brock out.
This is
I've learned.
all Soverel. He could leave Brock drawing dead on the turn, and that's precisely what he does.
Can I move over now?
No sweat
Please.
Yeah.
for Sam. And nothing further to sweat for Brock Wilson. A fourth place departure, 66K.
Great series so far for Brock. He's got a first and a fourth. Yeah. Is that still his thing?
I don't believe he's involved any longer.
No?
I think there may have been a divestiture.
Is he a professional poker player now?
You know, he takes the game seriously. I don't know if it's going to be his primary source of income.
Yeah. Well, speaking of primary source of income,
Yeah.
Soverel looking to make bank here. Look at this flop with the 10 deuce of spades.
Yeah, this was a Chrissy button open with the jack 10. She's got the same open ender Soverel does, but lacking the spade draw. Her jacks are in front, and this turn is uncomplicated, dare I say. After both players checked on the flop. $375K, says Sam. Brought on in part, of course, by the check back from Foxen, just asking questions of whether or not she actually connected with this board.
Now, this is an overbet. Only 240 out there, and Soverel goes to 375 with a huge draw. Putting Chrissy in an uncomfortable spot, but she's got too much of a hand to fold.
Board pairing 7 on the end. Swing and a miss for Soverel. And he does not get after it, allowing Chrissy to check back and snack. She's going to be up to roughly $2 million now. Talk to me now.
85.
Swanee's Golf. Okay. With the run good on the side. All right. Meanwhile, running good is Ausmus. Ace, king of clubs. 85K open, just north of the min. Picks up some of these newly minted Chrissy chips as she defends with the 10-8 off. Finds an open ender versus top pair.
Yeah, we got action. Watch both of these players go to work. Ausmus, top pair, top kicker. And then Chrissy with that draw. Future streets are guaranteed.
Just how expensive
175.
will a continued stroll down the sidewalk be? 175,000, says Ausmus. Once more,
Yeah.
Chrissy dipping into the check raise well. This time, however, Ausmus has more than enough with which to continue. Extra 275, not going to shed ace-king.
This is a fun one. Obviously, Chrissy's raise is great for whenever Ausmus hasn't connected. You just get to win the pot with 10 high.
And I think there's a collective perception, rightfully so, from both Foxen and Soverel, that Ausmus has ratcheted the VPIP way up.
The really
range is
frustrating part, Ali, for Chrissy is only if Ausmus goes all in. If he just shuts it down and denies that equity, you're sort of sick about your play. And I think Ausmus is giving it genuine consideration.
Well, the question he's asking himself is how often am I being check raised by better than ace-king in part, but it's also how best can I extract further value?
Oh, boy.
That is not how you extract further value. That's how you draw dead.
And it's a concerning card for Ausmus. He knows that Kristen's range consists of some 10-8. There's a variety of hands that she would be check raising with. And this is one of them.
10 seconds.
Obviously, you flip it around. Chrissy is aware that Ausmus knows, so now it's about sizing. What more can we do? She says 400, I believe.
Now you're really beginning to feel some discomfort with this ace-king because when you called a check raise, Chrissy knows you've got something legitimate. And for her to barrel again at you with what I think can fairly be assessed as milky sizing, not a number that we expect to just win the pot.
Yeah,
with.
sort of setting up the river jam, and Ausmus has to decide this is such a critical street, such a critical spot. If we do elect to call, how are we getting away on the river? What types of cards? Maybe all hearts, anything that makes this board a little bit more coordinated. You're at this point sort of trying to find a way out. That's not a card that's going to do it. This is going to be a grueling and disgusting decision for Ausmus on the river.
Such a dry 3 of spades. And he's unblocking hearts problematically. So many combos.
10 seconds.
10-6, 8-6. All that flush draw stuff.
Time extension.
That he'll need to keep an eye on with 0.5 SPR coming his way.
You can start to eliminate some hands, right? Like Jack 8, Jack 10. If Chrissy had elected to check raise flop with those types of hands, she's never barreling it off and then effectively being all in on the river. It's just too good of a bluff catcher. So now it's, okay, well, what bluffs do I beat? The 6-8 comes to mind. I believe you mentioned the 10-6, right? All these missed draws, and some of it probably would include various hearts. Otherwise, you're just up against the goods. 2-pair. And this straight that we can see that is 10-8.
This is really not what we were hoping to wind up experiencing with such a strong hand. It's feeling quite a bit weaker in the face of this check raise barrel.
10 seconds.
Everything has been so smooth for Ausmus thus far. The first blemish Can he find a way out? Would be an incredible laydown. So disciplined. And if anyone can do it, certainly it's Ausmus.
How many do I owe to?
This is where that intuition really comes into play in these spots.
He's given it a good long think here, and it's a hallmark of respect. He knows that Foxen would be really willing to risk her tournament life with less than ace-king.
Absolutely.
But he also knows the story being told doesn't allow him to beat any value.
10 seconds. Time extension.
I mean, his jaw must be tired at this point because he gave it a big, long chew. But Foxen is going to gulp this near 4 million chip pot.
I don't know if I gave enough of those.
And she is going to emerge on the back end of that one out of nowhere, Brent, as the chip leader.
Play free online poker at playpokergo.com. Real players, no bots. Ring games, tournaments, non-stop action. Authentic, fun, and always free.
Having a less than bright attitude in certain situations. You know?
Yeah, but deep down, you know, you've got a big
What's that?
heart.
Thank you, Brent. I appreciate that. I need to hear that right
and
now.
You've got a big
No. Let's,
ego
I mean,
at times,
okay.
Ali. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
These are facts.
And you've got a big hand here for Ausmus.
Right. Let's go that direction as 175 is the open here. Soverel with the suited connector. Defends. Keep things kosher, Hanks. 7-6 deuce. Sam will be engaged courtesy of this open ender and the backdoor flush draw. Overpair for Ausmus. Little barley and hops as one brews. Three-quarter pot C-bet sizing here from Jeremy. This is on the chunkier side. Adequately big to prevent Sam from asking questions.
10 seconds.
So another 600 floods the purse. And another 6 pays a visit to the turn.
Now, hold on. Keep your eye on Soverel here. We've seen it time and time again where players often elect to lead when the board pairs, whether they have trips, top pair, even these draws.
Well, he's in position, so let's see if that's going to be an option in terms of firing a barrel in general. Jeremy's range is supposed to want to check this card against the big blind defender, but with this much hand, he comes with another shell.
I do apologize. I thought it was a button big blind scenario. And this is interesting, too, from Ausmus. He doesn't seem concerned about Soverel having a 6.
So 300 bet called once more, and once more the board pairs. And for Ausmus, we really don't love this because there was no backdoor flush draw for Sam to have picked up that would keep him intact. And maybe we've counterfeited a deuce.
I mean, we hate this, Ali. We absolutely hate this. We can see Soverel has 5-4. What are the other draws that he can have? How about 9-8? Well,
we block that.
We block that. This is really disgusting for Ausmus.
And by the way, if he does check this card, you have to imagine Soverel is going to contemplate, even with just 0.5 SPR, taking a swing at things.
Oh, I fully expect it if Ausmus checks. And you've got to be worried about being up against a 7, let alone a 6 that we saw pair the turn. As played, what does Soverel have when we've got pocket 9s?
I mean, it's that turn call in particular with a pair on board that forces us to consider how many of the straight draws would stick around. Deep levels of interference with 2 9s. Jeremy working his way through multiple time banks before checking.
Yeah.
And now let's see what Soverel cooks up. Does he wave the white flag or does he risk his tournament life? Boy, I don't think that 15K was being measured out for any other reason than to be held back. As you see the near all-in jam from the lion-hearted Floridian Sam Soverel. And is Ausmus gonna pick up on the scent?
He knows he's got such a bad hand to call with. This is one of those spots, though, you just got to trust the gut. Does call. Incredible by Ausmus. And Soverel's almost out. He's, say, 15K. Well, here it is. The all-in moment for Soverel. Forced all in out of the big blind. Chrissy's hand is too bad. That is fantastic news for Soverel. Heads up. Fair fight.
9-4 deuce. Failure to connect for Soverel here. Now he finds a nickel. This was the path to getting it done last time. Can he down the top pair of Ausmus with a cowboy or another 5? Not this time, as that's the wrong kind of paint for Soverel, who gets painted into the third place corner for $89,100.
Have you ever done
What cartoons
And
don't have names?
static.
You're not familiar with Bugs?
It's a static cartoon as well at that.
Maybe go try it out in the game, see if she moves.
She's kind of a one-dimensional character. I think you've really assigned a bit of an egregious affinity to Martha or Betty or whoever.
PlayPokerGo.com.
Well,
with
play
Betty
bottom pair.
and Martha.
That's Ausmus's situation here, but behind the Jack Deuce of Foxen, who made it 150 pre and now follows through for a $120 post. Ausmus peeling, not finding any help on the turn. Very innocent looking deuce, which just smacks Foxen, who was already in the lead, but is comforted to have jacks up.
Nothing innocent about this mallard on the turn. Unleash the fury. Betting pot.
600 full pot on the turn, and you got to credit Foxen for finding such a large sizing over here and recognizing that it would pique Jeremy's interest if he shared a naked jack, or for that matter an ace, which didn't 3-bet pre.
Oh.
And on the end, Ausmus binks the 8. I'm not sure how much 8x she's going to give her man
The worst card
on the end, but she does check because she knows that she's chopping against the jack. The ace is likely to call, and worst card in the deck declared.
I got a fan.
Want free online poker? PlayPokerGo.com has free rolls running every hour. Real games, real players, always free at PlayPokerGo.com.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this
Ausmus with 9s has taken us to 300,000. After Foxen chose to limp her 6s, she does not get cute. Flatting and finding herself middle set on a rainbow board against the overpair, Brent. 660 in there.
This can absolutely escalate for stacks. Certainly
so
on the
deep.
flop is potential. Turn, depending on texture. This money can get in. Huge cooler heads up.
600.
Look how dry that texture is. Ausmus with the overpair.
Yeah, look how meaty the sizing is. Chrissy loves to see it. And against 600, with so much hand, perhaps we have designs on a flat and let barrels continue to come our way.
Yeah, it certainly could be the case. They are oh so deep as well, where you want to mix in a variety of semi-bluffs with your premiums. There's a world in which she finds raise. It is just call.
All her yellow chips put forth. Another 1.2 into the kitty. A 10 on the board now. Ausmus with the gutter, and not a lot of concern about a 10 being a part of Foxen's calling range on the flop. Maybe 10-8 specifically, given our interference with the 9s, but let us see how Jeremy feels about things with the pot at almost 1.9.
900.
Now he comes with just shy of half now.
This is really fascinating with Ausmus taking this line. Now betting 900, clearly for value. You're really sick if you hear the magic words. All in.
You know, as played, it really does feel like the overpairs are a big part of Ausmus's range. Foxen is going to flat. She's not worried about pocket 7s, pocket 10s so much as she is trying to figure out what the best way to maximize value with this holding is. Pot grows to 3.6. And the river is masonry. A big bricky 3 of clubs. 4-5 just not supposed to be involved, especially after a 10 hits the turn.
Yeah, it's not, although it is sort of there, right? Especially
in heart form.
The 4-5 of hearts and heads up. You are playing a wider range of hands. I just am uncertain. Yeah, he's going for it.
Jeremy jams. Is he going to get beaten into the pot? Yes, he is.
That's it.
Foxen covers, and it's a wrap. Just like that.
Good game.
Thank you.
GG's exchanged.
It's not too soon. I could say you're going to double me up at a 5.
Wow.
GG.
And event 4 is in the books, just like that.
I mean, you might still actually be the leader.
I could be, yeah. I might be.
Because
Brock got 4th.
Runner-up is
What about you?
Ausmus.
What have you?
I just had him in cash
You had him in cash?
in the 5K.
He takes
So,
the 128 and change,
Yeah.
but the
I
lion's
should
share.
shove that river. It's kind of thin.
I mean,
That
I'd
goes
have
to
a lot
Chrissy.
of folds.
You have like 7
Yeah,
and 6
yeah.
and a deuce a lot, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I show up with a 10, hello, that would be tough. Thank you.
$198,000 going her way. Unofficial photographer Chino Ream stepping into the shooting line there. Okay. Memorializing the moment for Kristen Foxen, and what a sweet moment it was. Found the cooler and finds a victory here with nearly $200,000 attached to it, along with, of course, the Mini Eagle for this victory. And boy, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
As Ausmus fought super hard, he always does. But today would not be his day, Brent.
Yeah, well, listen, you see the leaderboard here. They were just touching on it, Chrissy and Jeremy. Ausmus is the series leader with that runner-up finish. Just ahead of Brock Wilson, but today the storyline belongs to Kristen Foxen, winner of event number 4.
And no doubt, Alex quite proud as the post-mortem discussion ensues between the two of them, and plenty of U.S. Poker Open will ensue in the coming days. Tomorrow it'll be event number 5, but event number 4, this one's in the books. We certainly hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. On behalf of our entire crew here in Las Vegas and my partner in the booth, Brent Hanks, this is Ali Najad saying so long, and we'll see you tomorrow for more from the 2026 U.S. Poker Open.